Welcome back to the collaboration space. I'm your host, Nancy Lussier, and today I'm welcoming back a returning guest. It's always happy to bring back Laurie Berg from our Symphony team. Hello, Laurie. How are you?
Hi there. Good, thank you.
And we're going to talk a lot about Symphony things today. But before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with Symphony?
Sure, a little about myself. I've been working in the collaboration space since, 2000. And I started there working on the first software MCU and an SDK that enabled you to video chat your website. Lucky enough to see when video conferencing went from the nice to have to a must have. I've spent about 10 plus years, collectively here at AVI-SPL. I was here when we actually acquired the original Symphony software that monitored and managed video conferencing meetings. I was lucky enough to see it used as a proactive monitoring platform of video and AV, used by our Global Service Operations Center. Was here when we started to turn it into a platform that organizations could utilize in-house, covering their video, AV, and UC technologies, and now I get to see it continue to elevate collaboration experiences with features and capabilities that actually bring technology, people, and process together, so it's been quite a ride, with Symphony.
Yeah, so you've certainly seen the evolution of Symphony. We know that, the basis of Symphony is monitoring technology and auto creating tickets when our rules are violated and can also auto clear them as well. So with everything that you've learned and you know about Symphony and everything that it does, talk to me about maybe what your favorite thing is about Symphony today.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'm actually gonna share my screen. I'll show you my favorite thing. So,
Perfect.
let's share screen. I always talk through when I do that.
It's always helpful to see it
I
also, in addition to just
I
talking
think
about
so
it.
too, I think
Absolutely.
so too. So here's your entry point into Symphony, but we're gonna go past that because you asked about my favorite thing. So my favorite thing is actually the analytics. So when we talk about monitoring and managing and controlling, and we talk about tickets and everything else, all of that is data, right? They're all data points, and there are tons of data points out there. And what I've really enjoyed watching Symphony do is take all that data and bring it together in a digestible way for people to then make strategic decisions or future looking decisions. And it could be future tomorrow, it could be future a week, a month, a year. But really take that because I'm someone who loves data. If I could spend all day, every day in an Excel spreadsheet, I would. But the reality is, people can't. You don't have the time for that, but you're always asked for such things. And so, this is what our analytics look like. And there are lots of different dashboards, but I like to say that we give the front page of that analytics book. And so, you see lots of information. This happens to be incident management. So, about the tickets you were talking about, and it's talking about or shows information about average time to resolve and how many new tickets and resolved tickets over a certain period of time, which triggers were violated the most, tickets by priority, etc. This is across the entire account. But if I'm someone who maybe asked, let's say, "Hey, we just deployed some new technologies. Maybe we brought in some new manufacturers, or we're looking at some current manufacturers that we have deployed. We want to see how they're faring." I want to look at just those, not all of them, just a couple. So now I'm gonna deselect all of the manufacturers, and you can see all of them here. And I'm actually just gonna pick a couple. Let's pick 2 differing technologies, Crestron and let's go to LG. And I'm gonna click apply, and now you're gonna see that data change. And so you've got data across the entire account or drill into manufacturers, times of year, category of device. You can see here ticket count by device model. And that could be, you could have one manufacturer that you have lots of models deployed, and you want to understand the incidents around those different technologies. So I really like that Symphony collects so much, but then also does something with it to help people make those decisions.
And I like how the user can kind of filter this down, say, oh, this isn't working for Crestron or this is working for Crestron. And I'm having a problem with this LG display here, but not over here. So why is that? So a great way to slice and dice that information.
Exactly, and everybody can slice and dice it how they want, right? So that's really great. So your management asks you for one specific type of information, asks someone else for something else, but you're all using the same data and you're manipulating it the way you want. And at the end, underneath all of it, there is the raw data. So if you wanted to spit out the raw data, it's there.
So, what if someone already has a management solution from a manufacturer such as Crestron XIO? How does that work with Symphony, or does it?
Great question, and it does. Symphony's been working directly with devices for many years, but as manufacturers started to build their own management platforms, like you referenced Crestron XIO, we started integrating with those directly. And what we really like about that process is that you really get to see the full portfolio of the technology. So what happens is data goes from, we'll use XIO as the example, from XIO to Symphony instead of from each individual device to Symphony. So I'll actually show you what we look like with Crestron XIO. So I'm actually going to go into the IT room that we have labeled here. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go find Crestron XIO because that's where in Symphony it sits. So here you see Crestron XIO. So you see the links, they're all green, which is
Hmm.
fantastic, but we're going to
Green is
go a little
good.
deeper into that. Yep. But you know what? In the world, things go red too. So, that's
Yeah.
the beauty of Symphony is it's gonna tell you. But first, what you see is actually the monitoring of XIO itself. So, yellow, minor ticket, orange, major ticket, red, critical ticket. You see everything is going quite nicely, right? There's no ping latency. You've got real-time information there. You've got a map view if you wanted to see where it was located, tickets, aggregated devices, and audit trails. I'm gonna skip over all that for a minute. I'm gonna go to the extended properties because we're gonna go back to data. These are the pieces of data we collect from XIO, right? So from that platform specifically. So you can see the uptime, you can see the version, which is very important, especially when you're troubleshooting tickets. You wanna see what version and things are on. But the real cool thing about working with those management platforms is the aggregated devices. What devices are we getting data from XIO? So here we've got two. We've got a TS1070 and a TSW760. By the way, one of them is down, right? That happens. So I'm going to actually go click on the one that's up and running so you can see that. I'm going to click Crestron, that TS1070. You see the links are up. We're also getting ping latency directly from it. And then I'm going to go into extended properties and you can see the additional type of monitoring data that we're getting from the device to XIO to us. So you can see this is quite a bit more than we were getting about the XIO platform. This is about the device. All these ellipses, you see these ellipses right here,
Hmm.
Nancy?
Yep.
Everything there, you could create a trigger that then opens tickets. Everything. Now, you wouldn't, right? You're not gonna have everything ticket, but because of the way Symphony talks to these management platforms and the APIs that those manufacturers have created, we're able to ticket on anything. So it could be that you are ticketing on device online or offline, right? You could ticket on something as simple as, if somebody changed the name. Somebody went into the system and went into the configuration of the device and changed the name. You could ticket on that if you wanted to. So it could be very technical, or it could be more, administrative almost. You
Yeah.
could ticket on all of those types of information. So that's how we work in conjunction with those management platforms. We can talk to devices directly, but with the management platforms, we have the full portfolio. And then as those things change at those manufacturers, they update their APIs, we update within Symphony, and that data continues to flow.
Yeah. I've definitely learned that in apps that those three dots mean something, and there's good stuff hiding in there, and I should definitely click on it. So I love that. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about device control and maybe dive into
Yeah.
LG a little bit more in that
Sure.
integration. Yeah.
Sure. Control is a pretty cool thing that Symphony can do. And again, this is dependent on manufacturers. So as manufacturers create their APIs and create these integrations, they're allowing us to see data or to have control capabilities. So I'm going to go find a nice strong one. You mentioned LG. We do a lot with LG. LG happens to sit in the room Jaguar. I named everything after cars. So I'm going to come here. Here's my LG. Here's all the stuff in this room, by the way, right? So lots of different devices and technologies sit in a room. But here's the LG. So I'm going to click on it. And you're gonna see what you saw also with XIO, right? You're gonna see that ping latency. With LG, we actually also do hardware temperature, so we're monitoring that. But I'm gonna go into those extended properties, and here you can see the very extensive amount of points and control that can be done with LG. It is actually very impressive. But you see so much of this, right? Look at all of these different items that you can control and that you can get data on. I mean,
And
that
we're
is a
always looking for more and more data today.
yep,
Data
but
is it, and this certainly gives it to you.
it's exactly, but you're not gonna control all of those things all the time. You don't meaning it's not they're not gonna be, common all the time. So what we've also done is if you go back into the room, so I'm gonna go back into Jaguar, the room, not LG, the device. I'm gonna click right here, favorite controls. I've actually selected certain things from LG to be quicker to access. So, all that list, the lots of controls, it's easy when there's only a couple things that you can control. But when there's lots of devices with lots of control capabilities, it could be hard to find the one you want. So you favoritize it. And so you can see right here, I could quickly power that on and off. I could quickly reboot it. I could quickly change the priority input if those are the common buttons I want to access. So the more control we have, the the easier the resolution, can be done remotely, and quite honestly, the more, the less frustrating it can be for a technical resource. Let's put it that way. The quicker we can access something and be able to resolve something and not have to get up out of our seat or walk across campus, the better.
Across campus, across town, across
Yep.
the globe, right? That could be located anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to jump ahead to some good news that we had for Symphony. We recently won the SCN Best of Show at
Yes, we
ISE
did.
2026 just a few short months ago.
Yes.
And the judge called out something, and I'm gonna quote the judge here. Every product has to have embedded AI these days, whether it needs it or not. But I like that Symphony is a quiet workhorse with AI features that enhance what it already does well. So, what's your reaction to that quote from that judge?
I loved that quote. I loved it because it was a big topic over the years about AI. It would come up in panels, and it would come up from customers, and it would come up internally, and it would come up in meetings. Everybody needs an AI story. W What I was very proud of, or felt very confident in was that our AI, was something that the team really looked at to say, yes, we could embed AI and put a checkbox, or we could make sure that AI is useful versus causing noise. Because I think that's the biggest thing that you have to be careful of is Symphony is meant to assist technical resources to make their life better, to make their process better, to make their frustrations lower. If we put more noise into their daily life through Symphony, that doesn't help. That hurts. So we want to make it better. So I was actually quite happy that the judge actually saw that without us saying it, you know? So it was I was very proud of that.
Yeah, and a very mindful way to incorporate AI in a way that it really added value.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely,
And I
right,
can
and
I can show you what it looks like if you want.
sure,
Alright,
absolutely.
great.
Yeah,
So I just clicked into tickets, And I'm actually just gonna pick one. I'm gonna sort real quickly because I wanna pick one for a very particular reason to show you 2 things actually. So I'm gonna click into events because I wanna sort them to show you something kind of exciting about the way Symphony works. And I'm gonna scroll down, and I'm actually gonna pick this ticket right here back into the IT room. I'm gonna pick this 1080416. So first what you're gonna see is the issue, the room, and the location of the room. Nothing is worse than having information about the wrong device. Gives you the device information again, the issue, and the priority, and some basic information about the device. But the thing that I love about Symphony, and it also brings in that AI, because you're gonna see where AI ties in, is that Symphony aggregates tickets. So here, I'm gonna show you what happened with that Crestron device. Let's scroll down to the bottom, I think this is the user. So 1:33 PM on the 15th of April, there was excessive ping latency across a minor threshold. You see that yellow? Minor threshold. At 3:05, it actually got worse, and it crossed a major threshold. At 3:06, it got even worse, and it crossed a critical threshold. And you can see it's gone up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So you can see all of that fluctuation. What I love about Symphony is that Symphony aggregates us into one ticket. In some systems, if these violations took place and took place over and over again, they would keep spawning tickets. One ticket after another ticket after another ticket after another ticket. So not only does that cause noise to the email or to the ticket system or to the poor person who's
We'll
dealing
have
with
to
it.
clear them all. Yeah.
Yep. But it
Mhm.
also could potentially make multiple people get assigned to the same thing, right? Because you don't see it holistically. So that's the first piece of the ticket. But this is where the AI comes in. We put AI in Symphony as part of the ticket. So Symphony knows the make, the model, right? You've got all this information. You've got the make, the type, the model, you've got the issue, you've got all of this information about a device. And so, because Symphony knows all of that, you can click the AI button and get what we call tier one troubleshooting. So, what this is going to do is it's going to spit out the most appropriate or recommended steps to follow to resolve the issue. Now, not everybody needs to use this because some people know exactly what to do. This could be, they could be Crestron experts, but some
Or they've
people
seen
are
this
not.
before and they know
Yes,
the fix. Yes.
exactly. Or they've
Mhm.
seen it before. This could be the fourth time they've gone through this. But some people don't, right? Some people I'm not a Crestron expert. I wouldn't necessarily know the steps to do to resolve. So I've spit out the steps to resolve to then go do it. Now, this may not resolve the issue, in which case I can then push it to tier 2 and the tier 2 person knows all these steps have taken place and have not resolved the issue, so now I'm going to take it. So that's where we put AI into the platform. So as you can see, it doesn't cause noise because you click it when you need to. It helps to educate. It helps, your technical resources. It could be your new folks. You could be trying to, teach somebody information or teach them how to do this. So it helps them, but they don't do it unless they need to. So that's why I really like our AI story and how we've gone through it. Now, there's also a roadmap. AI is gonna continue to expand, but I really liked how we first ventured into bringing AI into the hands of the technical resources.
And I like how the person has the choice to use it or not.
Yes.
If they need it, it's there,
Yep.
and that's wonderful.
Yep, and by the
Absolutely.
way, if you do click AI, it gets put into a comment. So you could also another data point, you can see how many times is AI used across my organization, right? Are people benefiting from it? Are they running it? So it also that data point is going to sit there and provide you that analysis later. So more for management to see how is this impacting my team on the good side.
I like it. It's not AI for the sake of AI. I
Exactly.
like it. I love it. Great. Well, Lori, thank you for just this glimpse into what Symphony does. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me talk about it. You know it's one of my favorite topics.
Absolutely. It's getting to be one of my favorite topics too. And I just want to put in a plug if you have to name some more conference rooms and you're sticking with cars, Chevy Nova was Nancy's first car. So put
Alright,
that on
I
the
like
list.
it. Chevy
Put that
Nova,
on the
you
list.
got it.
Yeah, and, to our listeners, if you wanna take a deeper dive into Symphony, we have a brand new on-demand webcast with Laurie doing a very in-depth demo, so look for those links in the show notes. You can watch that anytime, as I said, on demand, and don't forget to follow The Collaboration Space on YouTube and on your favorite podcast app for the audio version. And, Laurie, thanks again one more time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate it. And for more information, please visit monitoring.avispl.com.